What's up, guys? Welcome to the Happy Trails Outdoor Experience. I'm Ryan, and today we're out here on another hike. Today we're on the trail and we're targeting maitake, which is also known as sheep's head or hen of the woods. We're also targeting chicken of the woods, and we're also looking for some honey mushrooms. I don't know how much we're going to be able to come up with here today. So with that being said, I'm also going to try to pour as much information into this video as I can, because I don't know how interesting it's honestly going to be. We're getting a little late in the season, but I know that sheep's head right now is in full swing, and we've only got a couple more weeks before things start to die down for the season. So we're out here today. We're just kind of looking around. We don't have a whole lot of time, but we are trying. Ashley's back here behind me. She's also scouting for some edible mushrooms, and we're just kind of paying attention. We're looking around at nature. We've seen a couple of deer. There's chipmunks everywhere right now. They're all getting ready for winter. So that's kind of what we're doing too. We're trying to enjoy the time that we have left here. We're trying to get out as much as possible because once it gets cold, there's not a whole lot for me out here after that happens. So stick with us, guys. Hopefully we'll be able to come up with something for you. No promises though, but again, I'm gonna try to pour as much information into this video as possible. Basically this summer, Ashley and I have not done any camping. We've not done any fishing, which is totally not like us. A couple years ago, we were introduced into foraging, which kind of led us into this mushroom thing that we're doing now. And mushrooms have become a very big part of our diet, because I don't want to brag or anything, but I think that we're pretty good at this. We're pretty good at finding what we're looking for out here. Okay, so maitake mushrooms. It's hen of the woods. It's got some medicinal properties to it. You can do your own research on that. It's delicious. It's considered a choice edible, and I like it in soup. I like it in stir fry. I just love mushrooms in general. So that's what we're after today. When you're looking for mushrooms, you're always going to want to look for bioindicators. What I mean is these things like to grow in certain environments, and if you can find oak trees in particular, you're on the right track. If you don't know what an oak tree is, or what it looks like, or what the leaves on it look like, you can also look for acorns. Another bioindicator around here is the chipmunks. They're all running around collecting their nuts and stashing them away. So if I can follow the chipmunks to the oak trees where they're going to collect their acorns for the season, then there's a good chance that I may find what I'm looking for. Chicken of the woods also grows on oak trees, and so does the honey mushrooms that we're looking for here. So we're basically going from tree to tree and just checking around the base of them and on dead fallen logs. There are two different types of chicken of the woods that grow around here. One is Leoporus cincinnatus, and I forget what the other one is. The difference is that one grows directly from the root on the ground, and one grows directly from the standing tree or on the falling tree. They usually grow on the dead side of an oak tree. But, you know, mushrooms are weird. They grow wherever they want to. So your best bet is to cover as much ground as possible and cover as many trees as you can. And most of the time, it's all a numbers game. If you can find the trees, then you can find the mushrooms you're looking for. And in this little area I'm in right now, I don't actually see any oak trees. So I'm probably going to move from this position. I'm also going to point out a couple of other things along the way that we've learned this summer. So anyway, without further ado, This is the Happy Trails Outdoor Experience. Thanks for watching. Click like and subscribe if you want to. Follow us on Facebook. And I hope you guys enjoy the show. So, all right, guys, I'll get back with you here soon. All right, guys, so I did find an oak tree, but there's nothing around the base of it. There's nothing growing from it. This is a healthy oak tree, but that's what the bark looks like. And you'll often find what we're looking for growing around the base in clusters. Let's see here. This right here is an acorn, and if processed correctly, these are also edible. This is a bioindicator of sheep's head and chicken of the woods, honey mushrooms. They love the stuff. If you guys don't know, this is what an oak tree leaves look like. And I don't see anything here, but that doesn't mean that there isn't something up the way here. So we're going to continue our search. If I find anything else for you guys, I will let you know. Alright guys, here we are. This right here is chicken of the woods. You can see it's growing right off of the log. This one right here is no longer edible. It's pretty much past its time. It's rotten. It's a shame. If I was here a week ago, I would have been in luck because this cluster was healthy. This is one of my favorite mushrooms to eat, and like I said, if you can find an oak tree, you can find these guys. Also, because of the color, if you can train your eye to spot this color, we're in the woods, this sticks out. You could be going 80 miles per hour down the highway, and if with a trained eye, you would be able to see this right here, and this is dinner as far as I'm concerned. I'm a little disappointed that we're here late, but that's good indicator that we're in the right area. So we're going to continue to look, and hopefully we'll come up with something that we can actually take home. That's actually pretty cool. Here's another very old chicken of the woods here, and this one this one's probably been sitting here for probably 2 weeks by the looks of it. The bugs have gotten into it. It's all rotten away. But I knew I was onto something when I found that last one, so I continued walking up in the hill in the same direction, and look at this guy. This is a fine specimen. And there's another one right here. You can see it's starting to come out. This is still the mycelium. It's starting to fruit. But this right here, this bad boy right here is fresh as it gets, and it's coming home with me. Okay guys, I'm gonna go ahead and harvest this. Some people will just grab the whole thing and rip it up. Some people will cut it. I'm one of the people that cuts it, and you want to go from the base and cut straight through, and you can see this sulfur shelf. That's also a name for chicken of the woods. This is sulfur shelf, and this is like this is the absolute best tasting mushroom I've ever had. Some people will cut it, some people will take it directly out of the ground. I cut it, and it's not because it protects the mycelium or helps it to fruit again next year. I cut it because it's a lot easier to clean without the dirt and the rotten log all over it when you get home. So, I'm gonna go ahead and put this in my bag. And if you're looking for a good harvesting bag, I always like to use mesh. You can get laundry bags that work well. Some people use paper bags. It really doesn't matter, honestly. The reason I like using mesh bags is because while you're walking around in the woods with this thing, this mushroom is going to be actively dropping pores all over the place. So that's a good way to spread the love. Make sure that it inoculates all the other trees around here that are dead, because even dead trees still serve a purpose. So, all right, that one's coming home with me. That's for the books, ain't that right, Trixie Pooch? That's right, we got some dinner. Yeah, yeah, winner, winner, chicken dinner. Okay, guys, that's one for the books. Now we just got to find ourselves some maitake. If I find anything interesting, I will get right back with you. Get a little stink bug here on my arm. Cool. Here's another really cool plant. This is called spice bush. And if you break the leaf open, give it a good sniff. This stuff smells amazing. It does have some uses. I'm not educated enough to really say much about it, but I do know that these little berries that grow on it are edible. I'm not gonna lie, they don't taste great. They're not a choice edible, but they're not gonna kill you if you eat them. But there are a lot of lookalikes, so just stay away from eating berries altogether if you don't know what you're doing. Again, I'm not an expert at any of this. I'm just going based off of what I know, and it's very important to do your own research all of the time. Alright guys, I'm going to continue my search out here. Alright, here's a freaking puffball. Now, I'm going to take this guy home because I know that it's good. There's some more right over here. Some people don't like puffballs. I've actually never tried them. But I will tell you this. Not all puffballs are edible. There's such a thing called as an earth ball, and they are toxic. The trick is to cut it open, and if it's white inside and solid, then it's good. If it's black inside, I wouldn't touch it. Yeah! I'm up here on the hill. Alright guys, I'm going to collect these puffballs and throw them in my bag. So I guess we're going to try these tonight, huh? If we don't find anything else, I might just do ourselves a little instructional cooking video with a good recipe for this stuff. So, now here's a warning. I've heard that puffballs shrink up whenever you cook them. So, you basically need a good amount of them to be worth anything. I love mushrooms because when you cook with mushrooms, they hold a lot of the flavor of whatever you're cooking them in. And I'm gonna cut the dirty part off of this bad boy. That acorn just fell out of the tree and almost smacked me in the head. I've had that happen before, it ain't fun. And you can see inside there, nice and white, good to go. Earth balls are not white, they're brown, and they are toxic, so stay away from those. Again, do your research. You found something, guys. I'm gonna give her the go on it. What's in there? What's in there? Hey, what's in there? Tree pooch? Hey, what's in there? Is there something in there? What's in there? What's in there? What's in there? What's in there? Did you find it? What's in there? Is there a chipmunk in there? You've been chasing chipmunks all day. You finally got one trapped, but he's in his hole. Sorry, Pooch, you didn't get that one. Oh, looky. I'm taking that home with me. Nice. Alright guys, we found another big cluster of chicken. You can see here somebody already got to it. I think that this one's past. Yeah, this is about a week too late. There's a lot of it here. These clusters can get really big, and I'm kind of targeting my Taki right now because those can also have some really, really big clusters. You can get 10 pounds off of a cluster if it's the right conditions. So we're having luck, but you can tell that this mushroom is no longer good because once you get more experienced, you'll be able to tell when the pores are old, if they've dropped their spores or not. Also, once this stuff starts to get old, it begins to lose its pigment. You can tell that this one is nowhere near as bright as the one that's in my bag here. And then I'll flip this over and you'll see the yellow. And you can see this one still kind of has its yellow underneath too, but the pores are not smooth, they've opened up. So, I mean, I guess you could probably eat this in a survival situation, but that's not me today. So we're just gonna leave this cluster here and we're gonna continue on our search. We're kind of running out of time here today, so I'm not going home empty-handed, but I'm still thirsty. We are in the thick of it up here. Onward. Okay guys, here's a treat for everyone. This beautiful little flower right here. A lot of people mistake this for a mushroom, but it is not. This is actually a parasitic flower. It lacks pigment because it cannot commence photosynthesis, so it gets its nutrients from something under here. I usually find these guys around of a lot of russulas and elm trees for some reason. These things are a strong medicine. They're a nervine. You can make them into a tincture, and that helps with pain, anxiety, and it's basically nature's Xanax, or it's a good, you know, like, what is it, Advil maybe even? I know that it helps with inflammation. It makes your pain... Ibuprofen. It's like, it's definitely a natural painkiller, and you can make a tincture out of this stuff, but I'm going to leave this where it is, because not only is this out of season, so it's really rare to find these this time of year, but also these things in some areas thrive, and then in other areas they're very their populations are very desolate and they're scarce. They're considered to be endangered and very rare. So Monotropa uniflora, meaning one flower. We are going to leave this guy, although this is a beautiful plant. This is actually a long one too. It's about 8 inches tall, man. That is a really nice specimen. Again, it's weird to see this here this time of year, and especially because this is not growing where it's supposed to be. So that's cool to see. That's very cool. I figured I'd just throw that out there. But again, always do your research. You know, if you do make this into a tincture, there have been reports of respiratory failure, and it can be toxic. So you got to know what you're doing with this kind of stuff. Yeah, that's right. Ashley just said you have to treat this like medicine, and that's exactly what it is. This is medicine that's growing straight out of the ground. So anything can be abused. We like to respect our nature. So we're just going to leave this guy do its thing, and we're going to continue on. But that is really, really cool. Good job, Beebles. Ashley's the one that found that guy. Okay, we're going to continue on down the hill here because we're seeing a lot of oak trees. I'm still on the search for some maitake, hen of the woods, but I don't know if we're going to be able to find any. We're getting late in the season here, so we're still out here having fun though with the time that we have left. Alright guys, if I find anything else interesting, you know I'm going to be showing you. Alright guys, we're here taking a little break. I just wanted to say something. If you do have a pooch with you on your hikes, me and Ashley are always backpacking a lot of water with us because running out of water on the trail absolutely sucks. So we always take more than we need. I know it's a lot of weight, but it doesn't matter. Carrying all that weight around, if you're not staying out there for a few days, or if you're not going 50 miles, then it doesn't really matter. The weight's going to keep you in shape and condition you for these long hikes. But Trixie's thirsty, and usually she drinks from the creek or puddles. I know that's nasty. You can't keep her from it though. But there's nothing up here. We're on top of the hill. So what we do is we'll take a water bottle. You can see Ashley has hers right there. That one's still full. But she just emptied this one. She just took the last sip out of this one. And as you can see, Trixie's already ready. There's nothing in there yet, Pooch. There's nothing in there yet. Wait a second. I'll just give her some of mine. And she'll love it. Oh yeah, she was thirsty. Always got to think about the pooch. Anytime we come out here, if you have animals with you, usually most of the time it's pretty common to see a dog on the trail. Every now and again you might see a cat, which is rare, but some people take their cats out with them. But you know, they have little plastic dishes that fold up that you can take with you for water for your animal. But this is just easier, and anything that you pack in you got to pack out with you, so this is kind of like a double use kind of deal. And I'll let her finish that and then I'll give her some more. Another good tip with animals is always frontline them, make sure the bugs are staying off of them, and they're just like you got to make sure that their stomach is full of food so that when they're out here they have the right amount of energy to pull from to complete the hike and make it out, because dogs and animals can get hungry and dehydrated just like us. So just keep that in mind. Always plan ahead. Think about everything. Think about what you're going out to do and plan accordingly. All right, guys, we're gonna finish up our break here and we're gonna continue on. You see that, guys? He's a little tick. He's trying to steal me blood. Get off me. Gotta watch out for those guys. They can also hitch a ride home on your animals too, so if you go home and check yourself and you end up waking up with one on you the next morning, that's probably where it came from. Keep that in mind. Alright guys, so here's one for the books. This plant right here, you can see it's a very big plant and has these berries on it. This stuff right here is called pokeweed, and this stuff is absolutely good for nothing. It will kill you if you eat it. The berries, some people make paint or dye out of it, but other than that, this stuff is useless. And yeah, very toxic, and a lot of people will eat this stuff mistaking it for an elderberry. Elderberries do not grow in this pattern. Elderberries do have a red stem, but they also have another lookalike called devil's staff, I believe, and they have thorns on it, which is also toxic. So when you're picking berries, it's very important to know what you're doing. This plant right here, very toxic. Not good for anything. Just better just stay away from it. Just figured I'd send that out there because I do know a lot of these foragers go after elderberries, and it's very easy to confuse this with that if you don't know what you're looking at. That's why it's so important to do your research. Never munch on a hunch is the motto. Alrighty guys, just figured I'd show you that one. Alright everybody, we found another cluster to add to the bag. That's pretty cool. Everything else that we found out here is either way too far past its time or it's just hiding really, really good. But I did happen to come across some of the feathers, so that's cool. I'm gonna take those home too. And I'm gonna harvest this, and actually we've got another one coming out from inside right here, and that puppy, I'm just gonna leave that where it's at. This entire log is probably full of mycelium, and that's probably why you see it coming out of this hollow here. But this part right here, that's coming home with me. Get all the leaves and dirt off the top before I cut it. And then we're gonna check out the bottom to make sure that it's fresh, because sometimes these guys will look fresh on the top, but when you flip them over, you'll realize, unfortunately, sometimes they go bad and then they still look good. But I think that this one's gonna be all right. Let's check that out real quick. Oh yeah. You can see that the pores on this are really tight, They're flat. They have not released yet. So this guy right here is still good. It still keeps that that bright, vibrant yellow on the bottom, and this orange, beautiful orange on the top. You can tell, you can just see this stuff from a mile away. Still no maitake. I don't know if we're gonna find anything like that around here. Might just not be the right environment or the right conditions for it. But at least we're not going home empty-handed. We usually don't go home empty-handed, so that's cool. All right, guys, I'm gonna harvest this and then we're gonna continue on. It's starting to rain on us. We're starting to lose daylight, so we're probably gonna get it wrapped up here soon. But if I find anything else, you'll be the first to know. Man, I could almost cry about this one. Look at all that. Man, we could have went home with more than we could carry if all of this, we should have been here a week ago. This is still chicken of the woods here. It's all dead. It's rotten. Oh man. But I tell you what, if I was here a week ago, I'd be in straight heaven. We still got some fruitings coming up, but it's just disappointing to see so much of it, and I can't take it home with me. My freezer would be happy, but that's okay. It'll be back next year. All right, guys, here's a pretty cool fungus. You can't eat it. You would never really want to, but there you have it. I'm not even gonna touch it. This is stinkhorn, and you can probably guess why they call it stinkhorn, because this stuff smells like straight roadkill or poop. Some of them smell different. You can see this muddy substance that's at the tip of it. That's it attracts flies, and that's how it spreads its pores. The flies will come and eat all of this brown, muddy, crappy looking stuff off of it, then they fly away, land somewhere, and the fungus spreads that way. This stuff right here is disgusting. Trixie loves to roll in this. First time I ever saw one of these things, I picked it up with my hands and it was a big mistake. So just figured I'd point that out. And it's a really cool fungus, despite how bad it smells. It's really, really cool. Kind of weird. I like things that are unique. So I figured I'd share that with you guys. Again, we're probably going to get out of here soon, but we're still trying to find our way back to the car. So we lost track of the trail, but we're heading in the right direction. It's just a fight because we're no longer on the trail. So making our way. All right, guys, I'll get back with you here soon. We're not the only ones out here. This is a fresh specimen. Somebody else got here before we did. You can see they cut here, they cut here. They took all of that, they took that, got some of that. Oh yeah. There's some more growing out right here. We're not the only ones out here. That would have been a nice little cluster too, but can't win them all. We're definitely not going home empty-handed, so I call that a success. It's pretty cool. What is this, a chanterelle? Hey, that's a chanterelle. It's a little old. You can see bugs have eaten their way through it, but that's also a choice edible. Chanterelle. Could actually probably salvage this guy, but I'm gonna leave him, because there's no point in taking just one home. All right, guys. We're gonna have to start making our way out of here. We'll talk to you again here soon. All right, everyone, that's it for today. I'm a little bit tired. It's starting to rain out. We're not running out of daylight, but it's time to go home. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed our video. I hope that you guys learned something. And if you would, click like, subscribe to our channel with notifications on, so that next week when I upload another video, you'll be the first to see it. I appreciate all of the support, guys, and I hope you all have a very good day. Happy trails to all of you. Bye, guys. See you next time.